Hello YouTubers, once again, Terry, I'm back. This is the second video of chapter 1. We had the introduction last time. Now I guess we're looking slightly more in depth in it. If you remember last time, we were talking about a philosopher called Jean-Paul Sartre. And we made two quotes which I think were quite powerful. They were powerful in the philosophical development of existentialism. And I think it's quite powerful to what this chapter is about. So I'm going to say them again, and I'm probably going to keep saying them in the videos, just to kind of bring you back to that point. Existence precedes essence. And man first of all exists, encounters himself, searches up in the world, finds himself afterwards. Now, we define these terms in the introduction. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the way that this affects self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, all the big selves, with a dash. Is that a hyphen? Possibly a hyphen. I have a cold, so if you hear me snizzling, I've got a really blocked up nose, I sound really stupid. More stupid, probably. Do apologise. I got Vicks somewhere in my room. I think it's falling between my bed and the wall. Don't you hate that? It's like your phone. If you fall asleep with your phone in your bed, I guarantee in the morning, when the alarm goes off, it's down outside of your bed. Worst wake up ever. And I've massively become off point. Let's get back to that point, shall we? So, what we're trying to discuss here is this really simple kind of, I guess, point that nothing can dictate a person's character, goals in life, other than, I guess, the essence of a person. When you think, the way we define ourselves is the way we live our lives. And that's the key concept. Our character, our goals in lives, will always be perfected by our essence, the way that we define ourselves because of us and through our external environment. You guys. The way you define us, or you stereotype us, affects the way that we define ourselves. Now, how does this affect all the big selves? Well, quite obvious. You probably even know now. I'm going to turn this off because you thought I knew this already. But imagine, okay, you're 8 years old. You know, you're at the pivotal 6 years, maybe even a bit longer, 8 years. Let's say for the next 8 years, you're going through massive amounts of cognitive development in logical thinking, in emotional development, in social development, and obviously your physical development as well. But what happens if something goes wrong? What I mean by this is, if there's something that can dramatically alter the way a person defines themselves at such a young age, what happens? What happens to that person's character? What happens to their goals in life? What happens to them? How do they define themselves? What changes? Quite a lot changes. Now, me and my friends, we were talking about abuse, and that's going to be probably the next chapter. Maybe. I don't know. It's going to be a chapter. I'm not really planning where to go on. I would like it obviously to follow. Kind of flow from one chapter to another. But they might just be random ones that we've just spoke about in class. So, imagine, I'm going to use the term abuse, okay? And I'm going to pick one out that I know my friends have suffered from, and I've seen the effects of this. And sexual abuse. Obviously, it's very it's not an easy thing to talk about. No one wants to hear it, but imagine what would happen if you were, and the effects that that has on a person's essence. Now, obviously, we do have the emotional problems, but we're not really looking at the emotional in the sense of emotions, but more the cognitive thinking behind them. And what I mean is like, it's not the emotions you feel, it's the way that you're defining yourself changes. So, I'm gonna go through some. I've heard these kind of definitions a lot. Obviously, you get the people that turn aggressive, which, to be honest, in abuse, is common in all of them. You got to think there's a lot of types of abuse. And aggression is a way of, I guess, defending yourselves. But yeah, you're acting out because you need to release stuff. You got aggressive, because stuff is going wrong. The things I've seen, with people that have been self-abused, and I think the hardest things that I've kind of listened to is that people explain themselves to be dirty, to be tainted. And that's the biggest thing that I find hardest to deal with when I've been talking about the sexual abuse with my friends. They were saying that they feel dirty and that affects key parts of their lives. When you think about it, social interaction, that's going to be changed because obviously levels of trust. You're being abused sexually by someone you would probably trust. And that broken trust affects all your friendships, your future friendships. Sometimes even the fact that you have friends. I know one of my friends, he doesn't even care about his friends. Not in a mean way, but in a sense that he just lets things go. He's a mess, And like we've spoken a lot about how we were going to talk about this bit, and I think that's to really do him justice, not to put in bad light. I need to talk about that in another possible chapter, talking about kind of social interaction and the effects of abuse. So maybe the abuse one, key chapter, I think, because it's very kind of hushed. It's not something people want to talk about, but I think it's something people need to learn to look out for. I think abuse, in my opinion, is very secret, very damaging, especially in terms of what we're talking about, essential humanism, and the way that it changes our essence. So, I want you, I guess, to take away from this video. I want you to think of the impacts that these feelings of being dirty can have on your life. And next week, we'll discuss them and see just how your thoughts correspond with ours.